Buddy, thanks for tuning in. If you'd like your own personal affordable coach, my email address is in the description. Send me an email. The consultation is free and the first session is only $5, so you could give it a try, and then after that it's very, very affordable. Today I'd like to talk about wish list goals. Wish list goals are something that we don't realize the damage they do to our self-esteem, the damage they do to our productivity, and the damage they do to our regular goals. Goals come at a price. And one of the challenges I have with clients is clients will present me their wish list goals. These are the things I would like to accomplish. Or better word would say, I wish I would accomplish. And they don't take into consideration the sacrifice, the time, the energy, the finances, the opportunity costs. So in pursuing a goal, you give up something in order to pursue a goal. There is sacrifice in accomplishing goals. There's no doubt about it. And people suffer from what's called the optimism bias. They're overly optimistic at what they're capable of accomplishing, what they're willing to sacrifice, what the chances of their success rate will be, what the price is that they're going to have to pay. So they don't anticipate all the challenges and obstacles that are going to stand in the way as they move on the path to accomplish their goals. And people can get hung up on wish list goals. And usually wish list goals are up here. They're pretty high. They're oftentimes unrealistic, or they're oftentimes unrealistic given the constraints. You know, if somebody has a full-time job and they have a wish list goal that's going to take 10, 15 hours a week, you know, that might be something that they're not factoring into the equation. And wish list goals can really do damage to our self-esteem. So wish list goals is, I want to lose 20, 30 pounds, or I want to write a book and market the book and have it become, you know, on the top 100. Or a wish list goal is, I want to learn a new language. Even something like that takes a lot of time, energy, and effort. And it's a wish list goal because it's more like, yeah, it would be nice if I would do that. And they're focused on the end result without focusing on the price you have to pay. A great story that I heard to exemplify this is, there's a classical pianist and he's performing at Carnegie Hall and just blows everyone away. Just this spectacular performance. And then after the show, one woman comes up to him and she says, "Oh my God, that was amazing. I've never heard anyone play so incredibly. You was just fantastic. I was enthralled." And she said, "Oh, I would give anything to be able to play like you." And he looks down at her and he says, "No, you wouldn't." He says, "Do you know what I have sacrificed in order to get here? Well, when I was a little boy and my friends were out playing and having fun, and when I was in high school and people were going to parties and they were going on dates, I was practicing. I practiced 6 to 8 hours every day. The blood, sweat, and tears and sacrifice I made in order to get here and in order for you to enjoy this music is beyond your comprehension." And it's easy to say, "Oh, I wish I could play like you." But very, very few people are willing to put the time, energy, and effort into greatness, into excelling, into accomplishing the big goals. And we're conditioned as a society to chase those big goals, to compare ourselves to the other people that are at the top of the pyramid, the best of the best, that have had the opportunity to make that sacrifice in order to accomplish what their dreams or what they want, or to be at the pinnacle of their profession. And we're not honest with ourselves. There's nothing wrong with saying, "Hey, you know what? I don't have it in me to make that sacrifice. I don't have it in me to practice 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day, or the 10,000 hour rule." 10,000 hours to master something. That's 10,000 hours is a lot of hours. That's a lot of sacrifice. And you just looking up the benefit at the end result and not looking at all the things you have to go through in order to get there. And so what clients do and what we do in general is we're bombarded by social media, bombarded by TV, movie stars and things like this, and we're comparing ourselves to others. We're feeling inferior. So then I know the solution. I'll set a wish list goal. And then I'm going to become rich. I'm going to become more popular. I'm going to become famous. People are going to respect me. I'm going to have lots of money. I'm going to have girls or guys adore me. And then it's a wish list goal. And then it's at the peril of all our the other goals, more realistic goals, because we're setting this wish list goal. So we're not working on our realistic goals because we feel like, well, they don't even compare. Why even bother? It's that extreme black or white, all or nothing thinking. Instead of, so I'll get some clients, they want to be actors, for example. And they want to, get on a sitcom or get in a movie or something like that. And I tell them, what's wrong with just doing some local theater? If you're doing acting for external reasons, that is not going to last. And that is not something that comes from your heart that's going to drive you. Acting or, especially the artistic pursuits, take a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of living from paycheck to paycheck. And it's a serious commitment. So are we doing it for the right reasons? And that's what also will contaminate your goals, is doing it for external reasons instead of doing it for that internal fulfillment or passion or joy for doing something that you love to do. So when we set wish list goals, and they don't even have to be big goals. I have clients that set, just even exercise goals. It's a wish list goal. They want to go to the gym an hour and a half, 3-4 times a week, right? It's a wish list goal. And then when we get down to work, get down to the sacrifice, get down to paying the price, they're not able to do it, and they're not able to stay consistent. So they end up not accomplishing that goal. And what I encourage them to do, let's start with a small goal. How about go for a 15-minute brisk walk? Do a 7-minute workout. Do some 5 minutes worth of pull-ups or push-ups. No, I hear this a lot in coaching. Oh, what's the point of that? That's not going to accomplish anything. And it is. It's not grandiose. It's not that you're going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger or like a Victoria's Secrets model. But that's the top of the pyramid. The top of the top, and the sacrifice and price they pay in order to get there is huge. And just be honest with yourself. You're not willing to pay that sacrifice on certain goals. And free yourself. Then you don't have to look at yourself as like, oh, I failed. I'm not accomplishing enough. I'm not succeeding. I'm not as good as the other people. And the other thing I encourage you to do is, I know it's easier said than done, but stop comparing yourself to other people. People on social media are showing you their highlight reel. They're showing you the best of. They don't show you all their failures, their rejections, the times when they're sitting on their ass, eating ice cream, watching, binging on Netflix. They're showing you the highlight reel. And what we want to do is compare ourselves to ourselves. So I'm going to compare August Steve to June or July or January Steve. And as long as you're seeing growth and progression, that's all we want. And it's amazing what you'll be able to accomplish through patience, through setting realistic goals. It's amazing. You'll be amazed how much more you're able to accomplish just by setting realistic goals. New Year's resolutions it's just, in coaching, it's the time where I cross my fingers because I'm hoping clients are not going to come to the session and say, I want to accomplish this, I want to accomplish that, and it's a New Year's, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, and they set this whole list of goals that they're not going to accomplish, they're not going to be able to stick with. And part of being a good coach is knowing when to dial people back and getting them to focus on what they can stay disciplined with, what they're willing to sacrifice in order to accomplish something, and most importantly, what they can stay consistent with. And that's what makes us feel good. And we do those consistent things over time, the results tend to take care of themselves, right? So if you just focus on exercising 30 minutes, 4 days a week consistently, and you want to lose weight, no, you're not going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger and have big muscles, but you can accomplish, you'll be amazed at the realistic goals you'll be able to accomplish. And so that's so much better than setting wish list goals and that all or nothing mindset. And we all know in the gym or friends and family or even yourself, the New Year's resolution goals, how long do they last? They're wish list goals. They last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month if we're lucky. So let's start being realistic and using that as fuel to grow. Because as long as we're growing, that's what's most important. Not comparing ourselves to other people, not accumulating huge amounts of money or fame or power. It's just growth, working on your self-development one baby step at a time. It is energizing, it's inspiring, it motivates you, you see results as long as you have patience, and you're not having to pay this huge sacrifice for something that you're not willing to do over the long term. Okay, so that about sums it up. Please, as always, appreciate your comments and feedback, and thanks for tuning in. And again, if you want some very effective coaching, send me an email. My address is in the description. And until next time, bye-bye.